Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to do another lesson. What do you think we're going to be learning about today? What is 211? Is that a number to call if we need a firefighter? No. It's the number if we need to call a police officer. Great job. And a police officer is somebody in our neighborhood, a very important person. So shall we sing our song? Who are the people in our neighborhood? In your neighborhood. In your neighborhood. Say, who are the people in your neighborhood? The people that you meet when you're walking down the street. They're the people that you meet each day. Great job. And I'm going to attach a little clip so that you guys can understand why I sing this every single time we're doing the police officer, because it's part of a Sesame Street episode. And here's a little clip so you can play it for your child so that they can see where the song comes from. Now, the police officer, we know to call him we need to call 211. And when he shows up, he might be carrying some things. His tools, his equipment that he needs to use to be able to do his job. So today's lesson, we are going to talk about all the different things that you will see the police officer carrying with him and what each part is for. Okay? All right. Now, when you see the police officer, you might see that he has a baton on him. Now, there are some batons that are long, like this one, and there's some batons that can close, and when they're ready to use it, they'll flick it out and it will expand into a longer baton. Now why do they need a baton? Can you guess why they need a baton? Yes, they might need to stop somebody by holding up the baton. Very good. Yes, and if somebody's not listening to them, or they're hurting the police, they might have to use it to protect themselves away from the bad guy. Very good. So is the baton necessary? Yes, but they're only supposed to use it to protect themselves and to stop the bad guys from hurting the police officer or somebody else. Good job. Now, we're going to look at another piece of equipment that the police officer uses that goes around your hands. What do you think goes around our wrists that the police might have on them? That's right, a handcuff. Now, a handcuff, it's a metal restraint that they put around your wrists so that the bad guys, when they're in their custody, can't do anything because their hands are stuck together. They sometimes lock their hands in front, and if they're not listening, very difficult with the police, they might put them at the back of their body where they'll put them like this. Now, so Miss Mark has had police officers come into class and do demonstrations with the children to see that the different tools and equipments that they need to use to carry out their job. So here's a little video clip of me being handcuffed in the front and pretending to be put into the car, but I didn't actually go to jail. Remember, it was just pretend. So that's being handcuffed so that I couldn't do anything with my hands that could hurt either the police officer or myself or anybody else. So another piece of equipment that a police officer would be carrying around is a badge. Now, this badge is very important because the badge has their badge number. Every police officer has a special badge number, and that is how they identify themselves. So instead of saying, Mrs. Davis speaking, they would say, this is 5296 speaking, and they'll know which police officer there is, because there might be multiple people with the same names. So to avoid any confusion, every police officer has a badge number. And this is what the badge looks like. Great job. So besides the badge and the handcuffs and the baton, the police officer might also have something called a walkie-talkie, a radio. Now this radio, they use it because it's the only line for the police officers to communicate. Sometimes when mommy and daddies are talking on the phone, it would get disconnected or somebody else might call. This radio is used so that the police alone can communicate with each other. If there's an emergency and somebody needs to go to the scene, the police officers would just listen to their radio and follow instructions. So the radio is very important. Great job. So another thing that the police officers would use is a bulletproof vest. Now a bulletproof vest, as you can see I'm wearing here, is used so that if anybody shot at the police and it was to hit their chest or their stomach, this bulletproof vest protects the police so that they won't get shot by the bullet. It would just go into the vest, but it won't go into the police. Now that's very important because sometimes people want to hurt the police. So the police need to protect themselves wearing this protective gear, which is a bulletproof vest. And the bulletproof vest protects your heart, your lungs, and your stomach. The last thing that I'm going to show you is, yes, the police officer does have a gun on them. But do use them if there is a bad guy and he's going to hurt somebody or hurt the police. Now, a gun is a very dangerous weapon, just like the baton. The baton can be used to hurt somebody and the gun can be used to hurt somebody. So when the police are becoming a police officer, they need to go through a lot of training so that they know how to use the gun and the baton so that they don't hurt anybody. They're supposed to only use it to protect themselves or to protect a citizen. A citizen is somebody like you and me who live in a country. Great job. So these are the different things that you would see a police officer carrying with him. One more thing is a flashlight. A flashlight is used generally when it is, you guessed it, dark. Now, if the police officer is looking for somebody, do you think the police officer can see in the dark like a bat or an owl? No. The police officer needs his flashlight just in case he can't see and he needs to brighten up the place. He has his flashlight, and a police officer should always be prepared. Great job. What I'm going to attach now is a picture of a handcuff. And I would like you to color it or paint it in gray. Now gray, if you don't have gray, you can make it by using black softly or mixing black and white paint, and that will give you gray. Good job. So you can either color or paint the handcuffs that I have attached in this lesson to add to your portfolio on the police officer. Now, I hope that you have enjoyed this lesson, and any pictures you saw of Miss Mark being arrested, remember, those were only pretend pictures. Miss Mark, knock on wood, has been a very good girl. Alrighty, I hope that you have enjoyed this lesson, and I would like you to tell me one or two of the tools or equipment that you have heard from this lesson and how the police are to use it and why it is important for them to use it. Okay? All right. I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.